What's up, everyone? So we all know how important it is to use proper notation, especially with sampling distributions. Like, it's extremely important. So I want to make sure everybody knows how to get all of the proper symbols using Google Docs, because I know a lot of you guys like to turn in your work through Google Docs. So on the screen right now is a couple of examples of some of the proper symbols. We have the mean of a p-hat, the mean of a sampling distribution for a sample proportion, the standard deviation, mu x bar, sigma x bar. That's the mean and standard deviation of a, what am I trying to say? Sampling distribution for a sample mean. But regardless, I want to make sure you guys know how to do all these symbols. So first of all, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here to just kind of get a new space here. Now, first off, one thing I like to do is make the font bigger, because when you have subscripts and you have your font small, then the subscripts are going to be even smaller. So I like to make the font super big, you know, even maybe something like 25 or whatever. Just make it nice and big. That way everything's nice and big and you can see everything. All right, so let's just talk about getting p-hat and x bar. Those are some very common things. So you're going to go insert equation. And to get the x bar, you're going to go under math operations. Now you see this little menu up here. It's very, very tiny, but you see these little options up here. So the one you can kind of see a square root, some parentheses, that's math operations. Click on that. And you'll see two options right here, one with X with a bar over it, and one with the X over hat over it. Now the X is a placeholder. So when you click on that, it's not going to make an X. That's just going to be a placeholder for whatever you want to be there. So if I want X bar, you'll see the bar is there. Now I'm going to type in an X, and there's my X bar. And notice how if I keep typing equals, it's actually going to be underneath the bar. So you actually have to hit the right arrow key twice just to kind of move outside of the X bar. And then you could type in equals, 15.2, whatever. All right, what about p-hat? So once again, insert equation. I'm going to go and grab the math operations. You'll see the little hat. It says X hat, but the X is just a placeholder. So when you actually click that, you see the hat there, but you type in the P. And again, move the arrow over one time, hit equals, and then 0.25, whatever it is. All right, now let's get the mean and standard deviation of the sampling distribution, which requires some subscripts. So kind of weird here, but follow through with this. Insert equation. The first thing you have to do is tell it that you want to use a subscript. So I'm going to go under math operations. You'll see the little X subscript A. Now, when you click on that, you actually see nothing, but it's getting it set up for what you want in the top and then what you want in the bottom for the subscript. So the first thing I need is a mu. So now I'm going to go to the Greek letters. You'll see on the far left here. I'm going to find the mu. There it is. And then now I'm going to hit the right arrow button twice. It's kind of weird. So hit the right arrow button. Oh, excuse me, not twice. Once. Hit the right arrow button once, and that'll move you down into the subscript. And now I want to get the, let's say this is a mean of a bunch of p-hats. So I'm going to go and grab the X hat, but remember, I'm going to type in a P, move the arrow over twice. There's my equal sign, and then 0.26, whatever the heck it is. Okay, not too bad, right? Not too bad, pretty easy. Let's do another one here. So let's do another one. Insert equation. I'm going to go and grab the X with the subscript, but I'm going to do standard deviation this time. So sigma, that's standard deviation. Move the right arrow over to get to that subscript that you created. And let's do an X bar this time. So this is the standard deviation of a sampling distribution for a sample mean, right? There's your equal sign, whatever your answer is, I don't know, 2.36, who knows, whatever it is. All right, now what about when you actually have to calculate and show your work for finding these standard deviations? And that's kind of the tricky one, is find the standard deviations. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of math work, right? If you know the formulas that we're going to be learning here very shortly. So once again, insert equation. Let's do the standard deviation of a sample proportion. So I'm going to go and grab the X with a little subscript A. I'm going to go ahead and get my sigma. And I'm going to hit right arrow over one to get to the subscript. Go and grab the X hat. Remember, I'm going to type in a P, so it's a P hat. Slide over to get my equals. Now, remember, the formula for this is a giant square root. So I'm going to go under math operation. I'm going to grab the square root. Once again, the X is a placeholder. There's actually no X. It's just creating the square root. And then in that square root, you need a fraction. So I'm going to go and grab the fraction thing underneath math operations. And when you start typing, that'll be the numerator. So we're doing 0.26 times 0.74. And then you can either click with your cursor or move move it with the arrows, whatever. Your sample size goes to the denominator, so it's 150. And then you could come over and type in the final answer equals whatever it is. I don't know, 0.0 something, who knows, whatever it is. I don't have a calculator on me right now. Now, I don't know why, but you'll notice the square root looks a little wonky there. I don't know why it's like unweird the top. It like goes a little higher. I have no idea why it does that. That's just what it does. It's probably a little glitch. I'm sure Google will fix it here shortly. But anyway, that's how simple that is, right? Pretty easy to do. You just got to be careful. Look how pretty all that looks, right? It looks really nice and simple. You see everything that looks crystal clear. We love that. We love that. We love that. So make sure you know how to use the insert equations. And it takes a little bit of time to get used to, but you'll see once you get used to it, pretty quick and easy to do. It doesn't really take a whole lot of time. So, all right, good luck. Hopefully that all makes sense. Now you guys can make a Google Doc with everything gorgeous for me to get full credit.